Welcome to Jackie's Lyric Corner. I am Jackie, and it's that time of year where the leaves are turning brown and orange and looking dead, and it's colder out, except for here, where it's hot all the way up until November, which is really annoying. But I always like to do all these autumnal videos and watch all these autumnal videos and watch spooky movies and to get into the mood, because the weather here does not get me very much into the mood. And Victober is coming up. It's only September 1st, so it's a month away, but I'm doing my TBR early. And I know I said in recent videos that I'm not doing TBRs, but I'm still going to keep trying to do them, at least for stuff like this. Not that there's only really two. Well, now it's down to there's only one readathon that I'm actually participant in. Well, I might try to participate. I might participate in Nonfiction November as well. But I don't know. I might be jinxing myself here. Anyway, so I'm going to show you my TBR. First, in case you don't know, this is a readathon started from, I think Katie from Books and Things is the main person that started this Readathon Victober. It is basically a whole month of reading Victorian literature. They give you prompts. You don't have to do the prompts. They're just kind of to help you out, decide what you're going to read during that month. These are the kind of prompts I like when they're like a month long or a year long, because then the pressure is taken off. Even the 2 weeks that Tome Topple was, I still felt kind of pressured. But not that they were pressuring me, but I was pressuring myself. And I think this is why I'm able to stick to this readathon. And then there was, and like I said, last year I started doing Nonfiction November, and that's also a month. But anyway, so I wrote all down. Okay, so it's a readathon, like I said, Katie from Books and Things hosts it, and so does Kate Howe. Marissa from Blatantly Bookish, and Roz from Scally Dangling About the Books. And I don't know if I got her name right, her channel name right. I hope I did. But so Kate Howe, the video I just watched this morning, her prompt is reading a book with religion in it, and basically almost every Victorian novel probably has an aspect of religion, because I think back in the Victorian era, religion was a big deal, and it was unusual if you didn't go to church. In fact, and this is before, this is set before the Victorian era, but I know there is, even before the Victorian era, I think church was a big deal, because I was rewatching Bridgerton from the very beginning, and there's a scene where their whole community is basically at church. And so I think it's sad that church isn't as big of a deal nowadays, but you can't force religion on someone. You can't force beliefs on people, and but yeah, I don't think anyone would have a problem with that one. I'm sure all these books that I picked out probably have an aspect. There's one particular book I picked up that definitely is very religion. It's not a huge religion, but it does play a part. It's like the whole community is run by the church. And then you have Katie from Books and Things. She says, read a Victorian novel that plays with form. Like it's a diary or letters, or the structure is like someone's telling a story to someone else. And I'm doing a reread for that one, actually. But I feel like that's also a common thing you see in Victorian novels too. It's people telling stories. And Marissa from Blatantly Bookish says, read a book published serially. A lot of Dickens' work is published serially. I'm trying to think of who else. He's the first one that pops in my head, Dickens, and a lot of his novels. That's why they're so long. I think Wilkie Collinsman has been published serially. I think a lot of the super long Victorian novels were probably published serially. Maybe not, but And then we have Roz. Her challenge is experience a Victorian drama. In other words, read a play or watch a play on watch a play. You can probably find some of those Victorian plays on YouTube. And then there, or like what's the other one? Or listen to a play. Like listen to an audiobook version of a play. So I don't have a play here. Actually, I was looking for one, but I didn't find the one I was looking for. So I might still read Oscar Wilde's plays because I do have a collection of his works. And then they have bonus prompts. So sadly, there were 2 booktubers that passed away. Only one of them I had some awareness of, and that was Jennifer Brooks. I watched her channel all religiously. I loved her channel. I loved what she had to say about books. She was a fan of Wilkie Collins. So one part of the bonus prompt is you can read a Wilkie Collins work. And then there is this other one, the one that I didn't watch. Her name is Alice. I don't know what her last, because I didn't watch her, I don't know what her last name was, but her channel is called Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. And she was a fan of Arthur Conan Doyle, so you can read some Sherlock Holmes, like either his short stories or he writes novels. And then I believe there are other works that he wrote, but sadly he was mostly known and praised for Sherlock Holmes. And I think it was Katie Howe who said, or not, Katie from Books and Things, who said that that there is a quote from him saying how he wished he wasn't just known for Sherlock Holmes. It's really sad when you really want to not just be known for one thing as an artist, but then you're praised for that thing. And so it's like one of these things where you kind of feel bad for them, because on the one hand, they don't want to seem ungrateful and unappreciative that people love this particular work of theirs. But at the same time, there's you want to be able to, stretch your skills out and be able to have other projects to be known for. But so yeah, those are the bonus prompts. And let's talk about my TBR for Victober, or possible TBR. Because this could potentially change. Okay, so first, I went ahead and grabbed, I have 2 rereads here. I went ahead and grabbed My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier. I don't know if I think that counts. I don't know. I think Daphne du Maurier is Victorian. I don't know. So this might not count. So actually, this is not. I don't know. I have to double check. Let me see, what's the copyright date on this one? But I've been wanting to reread My Cousin Rachel, and oh, okay, never mind. This doesn't count because this was that's right. She wrote in the 20th century. So never mind that. So forget that this does not count. I do want to reread this. So this might be part of my September TBR. Okay, so the other reread that I know counts is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. This one plays with the form because you have the first main character you meet is this gentleman who he has inherited this house, and he decides to go check it out, and he crosses paths with a former maid that used to work in that house. And she explains to him why the original master of the house is kind of a cranky ass and not very charming. And starts telling that story. So you have him telling the story of his experience, and then within his story you have this woman, this maid, telling her story of what happened back then. So it's a bit of an Inception scenario. Okay, it's actually not, because it's not a dream within a dream, but it's a story within a story. I've been wanting to reread. I absolutely love this book. And I feel like this book has very a conflicting reputation because most people came to this thinking it was going to be this epic, beautiful romance, and it's more of a tragedy. You know, I mean, there is a romance in it, but it's not a positive romance. It's kind of toxic. But it's also, it's kind of what makes it so engaging and dramatic and fascinating to read, and why a lot of people love it, as long as those who are aware of the romance not being a very good romance, or not that it's not like being a tragedy than rather than like a romance. And not in a tragedy in Romeo and Juliet style, but a tragedy in these people, this is very toxic and messed up and dysfunctional. But the two characters, the two lovers, have they're like two halves of the same coin. But I've been wanting to reread this, and I do actually have the Ralph Fiennes and Juliette Binoche. That adaptation, I don't know if there's any other adaptation of it, but I have that one, so I might watch that one again after I read the book. So like I said, that can apply to playing with form. And this one applies to the bonus prompt, a Wilkie Collins book. I have 3 Wilkie Collins books, and this is the shortest one, so I figured I need to finally read and finish a Wilkie Collins book, because I have been meaning to read those, and I've started like all 3 of them, but I keep getting sidetracked. Like, I put the book down and then don't come back to it, and I am still definitely interested in reading his works. It's just, like I said, I'll get distracted. And, mystery stories, like these kinds of stories aren't necessarily my first choice of books. So, but this is the Moonstone, and I'm gonna read the Bible because I can't remember in a good way to tell you. A celebrated Indian diamond, yellow diamond, is first stolen from India, and then vanishes from Yorkshire country house. Who took it? And where is it now? A dramatist as well as a novelist, Wilkie Collins gives to each of us, his narrators, a household servant, a detective, a lawyer, a cloth-eared evangelical and cannot say that word. Evangelical, a dying medical man, vibrant identities, separately relate the part of the story that concerns themselves. One of the greatest triumphs of the 19th century. Okay, I gotta read this to make sure it doesn't, because I know sometimes classic descriptions on the back give away things. Okay, I don't think it does. One of the great triumphs of 19th century sensation fiction, the Moonstone tells the mystery of a mystery that for page after page becomes more, not less, inexplicable. Collins' knowledge of addictions to is itself addictive, moving through a sequence of startling revelations towards the final disclosure of truth. Entranced with double lives, with men and women who only know part of the story, Collins weaves their narratives into a drama suspense. The Moonstone is a text that grows imaginatively out of the secrets that the unconventional Collins was obliged to keep as he wrote the novel. So like I said, I've been meaning to read Wilkie Collins, and every time I put the book down, I'll start it. Like, the other 2 I have is The Woman in White, and then I have Armadale. So I'm going to start with this one because it's short. It's not as long. It's not short, but it's not as long as the other 2. So let's see, how long is it anyway? Okay, so the explanatory notes go into 500, the 500s. So it's like, it's like 457, so it's not even in the 500s until like you get to the notes and stuff. So this I'm going to read in honor of Jennifer Brooks. I went, it is sad because I wish I could have got to know her
and interacted with her more. But, you know, there was never an opportunity, and I'm not gonna be weird and, you know, just, like, you know, be weird and just comment and say, can we be friends when we don't even know each other? So, but I wish we had gotten the chance, I wish I had gotten the chance to get to know her, not just through watching her videos, but maybe interacting with her, but hopefully she's at peace, and if you believe in heaven, which I do, so, okay, next is, so also I got a book that to read serially. This is, I think, this is Marissa's challenge. This is one that I've started, another one that I keep putting down because it's long, and that is Dombey and Son. So, and I think it should be okay that even though I've already started it, because this is super long, so I want to make some more progress in this one. I don't know if I'll finish it or not. Like I said, I grabbed a lot of books here, and then I have one that's not Victorian related that I might start reading as well. So this is about Mr. Dombey has always wanted a son. He has a daughter, Florence, but he's dismissive of her because he doesn't think a girl is worth anything, and he wants a son to take over the family business. And he ends up having a son. But the son is not what he expected, and things do not go the way he intended them to go with his son. And it's a very sad story because, you know, I'm at the halfway point, and I just feel so bad for Florence, and I can't stand Mr. Dombey. But it's really good. I'm enjoying it so far. It's more just the length. I get impatient, and then I get distracted by books that won't take me as long to read. So I do want to come back to this one in October. And the good news is we probably aren't going to do a vacation in October. Although my dad sounded kind of interesting when I mentioned going to upstate New York to the Catskills and all that. Okay, and then the last one this is for Kate Howe's prompt, which is the family parsonage church. This is an Anthony Trollope book. It's part of the series, the Barsetshire series. I think both this series and then his other series, the Palliser series is more about, you know, government. Okay, so yeah, so that's more government in the city and everything. And this one is about religion in a small community where the church has all the power in the community. And each subsequent book focuses on some of the residents of, one of the residents and their lives and their relationships. And so for each book seems to have like a love story that is going in the direction of marriage, hopefully. And I don't know about this one. Now, I did take the dust jacket off of this one because the dust jackets I was using on this one, all of them were, they all started ripping and falling apart, so I took out the dust jacket. So I don't have a description to read for you guys of what this is about. So I think it's like probably one particular the family that is the parsonage. I don't know. But yeah, so I can't really, I don't have anything to read to tell you what this one is about. I think it's the 5th book in the series, though. So those are the Victorian. And then the last book that I grabbed that I might read in October, I don't know, I might do something, is a shorter Anne Rice book. And in a way, this does kind of honor Jennifer Brooks as well, which is Anne Rice's The Mummy, or Ramesses the Damned. I have made very little progress on The Witching Hour. That's going to take me a while. And I might take that one out and make some progress on that one. Because I'm going to make sure I participate in Victober this year. In September, I'm going to read some, that's going to, what I did the year, not last year, but in 2022, I read, it was either 22 or 21, where I made sure to read the spooky books in September because I wanted to, because of Victober. Okay, so I'm gonna read the back. Okay, in her best-selling vampire chronicles, Anne Rice created a world of hauntings and sensuality and seductive power. In Her View with the Vampire Sat, and The Queen of the Damned are novels unsurpassed for their hypnotic, erotic quality. Now Rice takes the themes she's always explored to such chilling effect. The interplay of the undead with their immortal mortal brethren has fashioned into an electrifying entertainment. Ramesses the Great lives, but having drunk the elixir of life, he is now Ramesses the Damned, doomed forever to wander the earth, desperate to quell hungers that can never be satisfied, for food, for wine, for women. Reawakened in opulent and adorning London, he becomes Dr. Ramsay, expert in Egyptology. He also becomes close companion of the voluptuous, adventurous Julie Stratford, heiress to a vast shipping fortune, in the center of a group of jaded aristocrats with the appetites of their own to appease. But the pleasures Ramsay enjoys with Julie cannot soothe him. Searing memories of his last reawakening at the behest of Cleopatra, his beloved Queen of Egypt, burn in his immortal soul, and though he is immortal, he is still all too human. His intense longing for his great love, undiminished over the centuries, will force him to commit an act that will place everyone around him in gravest danger. So I'm guessing he becomes a vampire, even though it's the mummy. Or, oh wait, no, it says he drank the elixir of life. Yeah, so he drank the elixir of life. But yeah, I figure, again, I always do this, like, where I'm, like, saying, I'm going to read the little bit shorter works by the author, but then I still take forever to get around to these books. I mean, I did read my reread of, Interview with a Vampire, and I don't know if I'll continue that series or not. I'm sure Terry would love for me to continue, but I did decide to donate the book, put it in the donation pile, because, I've reread already. I could always get it on Kindle if I wanted to, get the whole series. But I did decide I'm gonna, I removed it from my shelf. I'm gonna donate it. But anyway, yeah, I want to read this. I want to read this one, because it doesn't seem as long as The Witching Hour. Okay, so that is my Victober / an extra book for October. So, and this is a little early, but, I mean, it's a month away, and I don't want to be throwing up a TBR at the last minute. Are you participating in Victober? Would love to know what you're reading if you are, or do you just read spooky books and not necessarily participate in Victober? I would love to know what those are. Are you excited about the autumn season, or are you more of a summer, spring kind of person? I'm definitely a spring-autumn fan. I prefer those times of year because I have a job where I'm outside for an hour. When the weather is uncomfortable, then I'm uncomfortable and I feel like crap. So I'm definitely, as I've gotten older, I definitely prefer this time of year in springtime because the weather is perfect. It's comfortable. I'm not freezing cold or sweating like a pig. I am, I feel good. I can be outside or hang out inside. But anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell notification below if you want to be notified about my latest videos. And I hope you are enjoying the start of autumn. I don't know if it's officially autumn today. I think it's not officially autumn until like the 21st or the 20th or the 22nd, around that time. So towards the end of September. But like most people, I'm trying to get into the autumn sphere early because I don't like summer as much as I did when I was a kid. So please give it a thumb up. Click subscribe if you haven't. And click the bell icon below if you want to be notified. And I will talk to you all later. All right, bye.